what's the connection between the arts and Common Core? The Common Core is not something fundamentally new. About 40 years ago, there was a guy named Benjamin Bloom who created what's called Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives. And that's a lot of fancy words for basically saying higher level thinking skills, rather than just saying, when did the Civil War start? You talk about what caused the Civil War. Identify the things that bothered people in the North and the things that bothered people in the South. What students are being asked to do in the Common Core, to me, is no different than what Bloom was talking about 40 years ago, and that is to think at higher levels. Higher levels are things like synthesizing, pulling things together that don't look like they fit together. One of the great things about math in this day and age is that people are realizing more and more that there isn't just one way to do a math problem. There are several different ways to do it. Art can provide a vehicle for people using or understanding creative techniques for problem solving. I think many people believe that the arts are one of those things, well, if you have to eliminate something when you downsize the budget, eliminate the arts, because kids don't really need that. Gone wrong. The arts become a vehicle through which many students can learn to think creatively. One of the problems is that people do not understand, in many cases, what the word creativity means. How do you judge creativity? How do you measure creativity? How do you grade creativity? And, for example, one way of evaluating creativity many people have never seen. They have never seen a jury judge a piece of artwork. They've never seen a jury judge a piece of architecture. And yet, for example, if you want to get a degree in architecture, your work is juried. Your work goes through a group of people who are sitting and saying, is this a creative, effective solution to the problem you were trying to solve by designing and building that building? So it's looking at those combinations of things that begins to show you how the arts come together with what we call the Common Core. And again, the Common Core is primarily higher level thinking skills. It's applying, it's interpreting, it's synthesizing, it's reviewing, it's evaluating, it's taking some of the lower level skills like describing and identifying and combining them with the higher level skills. To me, what's frightening people about the Common Core is that they're not being described specifically enough, and people are not being clear enough about how you enable teachers and students to demonstrate that they have a grasp of the skills. Really effective teachers, in my view, have been using the Common Core for a long time. They insist, for example, that students not just say, yeah, I have the answer, but they show the teacher how they solve the problem. They have the teacher go through and they have the student go through and show the steps they use to solve the problem. That's a way of demonstrating that you understand something very important in a number of Common Core skills is, do you understand inductive and deductive logic, which are key skills in mathematics. I think one of the important things that HOTS needs to do is to help people understand what's the connection between what HOTS is trying to do and what students are expected to know and be able to do when they leave school so that they can be successful once they leave school.